Hey beautiful people, thank you for clicking on my video today on how is it that we can increase the love for our loved ones and make that bond very strong and super reliable and something we can really exploit to the best of our abilities, right? So today I will be going through the definition and then the three main pillars I'll share with you to maintain a strong love bond with our special partner. And at the end, I'll give you just a brief summary of what I just went over. Okay, so if you like this content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into the video. Okay, so today, love, right? Before we get into how to make a love bond stronger, we have to address what is love, and what is not love, and what are we led to believe that is love. Because for the most part, all these TV shows, all these movies, books, games have led us to believe that love is infatuation, right? And it's very good for for the producers to say that or to show that to the viewers, because it is very, very good for people to react to it, for people to be good with it, but it does give us a lack of reality, right? Like, is anything on the internet, anything on the media, it's definitely distorted, so it's appealing to the viewer or consumer, right? So what we're led to believe in movies like Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, P.S. I Love You, all those romantic movies or books or any type of content led us to believe that infatuation is love, right? Love at first sight, like how wonderful feelings we have here and there, but reality, it's not, right? It's awesome. Infatuation is, it's good, part of a bond, but love is very different, right? Love is not an emotion like infatuation, nor an act, right? It's not just one act. Love is a type of bond that gives way to many emotions and many acts and so many other things, right? So the best way I can describe love is that love is just a special type of bond you have with someone, right? And very indeed special, right? So after that, that's the best definition I can give you, right? Through this bond, you're experience emotions like happiness, anger, infatuation, any other type of emotions like that with a person, and some acts that relate to those emotions. But you can't say the love is just one of those things. Love is so many things, and the best way I can describe it is as a bond, as a type of bond you have with someone, right? Because the bond that you have with your best friend is not the same bond you have with your lover, right? Or your partner. It's very different. So today we're going to go through the main three pillars on how to keep that bond super supported, super strong, and just make it better. Okay, so the first thing is going to be consistency, right? Consistency is does wonders of things to many in our life, to many things in our life. For example, you want to play the guitar and become a master, well, you have to practice, right? And you have to stay practicing to keep maintaining that skill, right? Some, you want to learn a language, you still have to practice it and you still have to keep up with it. Heck, you know many English speakers, many Spanish speakers, any other single language speakers have learned the language their entire lives, and yet there's still new things they don't know, new words, new pronunciations. Maybe they have been saying words just differently, and it's just amazing, right? So that's the consistency of just honing a skill and mastering it. Okay, so same thing with a relationship. That is why long distance relationships most of the times fail. Why? Because the contact communication is not consistent. The bond keeps breaking up and up and up, breaking down down through all those distance, and it's just very hard to maintain a long distance relationship bond, right? So in order to go through that is stay consistent, right? So a good way to see, a good way to make structure out of this is to make a schedule. It may sound not so romantic, it may not be very orthodox according to love and romance, all that, but it does do wonders for you. Setting up a schedule for when you're gonna have a date, and setting up that schedule is gonna create a huge amount of time for that you're always gonna have to stay constant with, and that time is gonna produce a really good pillar for you to build your relationship, right? you know but this time does depend on many things. For example, availability of both people, maybe even the time that they want to spend with each other. Maybe they don't want to spend too much time, maybe they do. It all depends, but a good way to stay consistent and create that strong bond, is to set up a schedule of when you're going to see each other, right? So for example, a couple has Friday nights to go on a date every single week, right? There's no excuse for missing one date, and it's always there. It is a set date, and we will always do something, right? And I recommend you apply that to your life, right? It doesn't have to be Friday, but it can be a day where you both are available. That way, you can stay consistent with your partner and not have that lack of consistency destroy your bond, because that is the main pillar, right? Sustaining any bond, consistency. If you kind of let it fade away, of course the bond's going to grow weaker, right? So that's the first thing. Stay consistent, set up a schedule every Friday, right? And keep it sharp, keep it adventurous. Don't make the same thing over and over. Make it so that one day or one week you do something really cool, then the next day a little more relaxed, and then another cool thing, like going to the park, then going to dinner, movies, whatever, up to you. All right. Now that is consistency. The second pillar is going to be gratitude and attention, right? So what I mean by this is, everyone has a thing called attention bias, and that is that whatever we think of, or whatever we are biased to, is what we're going to pay more attention to. If you're more biased to positive things in life, you're going to perceive the world as a much more positive world, right? But if you see more negative things and you're biased towards those things, and all you see is that, well, you're going to perceive the world as an awful place, and that's just good or bad depending on your situation, right? But the same thing applies to a love bond with your partner, right? So if you focus on just seeing the negative things with your partner, if you focus on seeing all the little mistakes, the errors, and perfections, well, what you're going to be left with is a distorted point of view from your partner. And that is that you're just going to see that partner as being all of these negative things and ignoring all the good things that they actually are, right? And again, no one's perfect, so there's a huge amount of things that they probably aren't good with, but there are a lot of good things that they're good with. So just pay attention to that. A good way to practice this is making it simple, right? So every night that you go to bed, set up an alarm right before you go to bed to remind you to write one thing that you were grateful for the person. It could be that they sent you a good morning text. Just write down, I'm thankful for my partner, because they sent me a good morning text today, right? Keep it simple, but keep it very heartfelt, right? Make it so that it just doesn't become, something that you just kind of do out of habit. Make it a habit, but don't make it so it lacks the meaning behind those words, right? So keep that constant. And then if you really want to go into it, keep that up for a year, or maybe, for a prolonged time, but I'd say a year. And then after that, after the year's over, you give the list to your partner, right? So this can be set up with important dates like Thanksgiving, Christmas, their birthday, Valentine's Day. This is going to do wonders. Not only is it really, sweet, cute gift, but it's going to make you a benefit and the person at the same time. And then I recommend that after this, you tell your partner to do the same thing, right? So I'm not telling you, it's not very much, maybe 1 minute a day. 1 minute a day, right? So 365 minutes a year. That's it. 1 minute a day. That's all I'm asking for you to keep, putting your attention into good things that you're grateful for that person that day, right? And they have to be very simple, and that's it. right? Now that concludes it, right? That concludes gratitude. Now we go into what is something that's just gonna grow the bond even stronger, and that is vulnerability. Vulnerability makes wonders for the people around you, right? If you don't know that someone's vulnerable to something, you almost kind of think that they're inhuman and they're almost robotic, or you see them as so highly of you, or so higher than you, that you just don't really care, right? And that is why it's very important for you to show vulnerability with your partner and let them show their vulnerabilities with you. And I know it can be very hard sometimes. For example, it can be the case that you're very touchy about family, or that you're very insecure about how you look or how tall you are, or something like that. But being able to share those vulnerabilities and being vulnerable with a partner, contrary to what you might feel when you're sharing that, it's actually going to grow the bond so much stronger. You might feel weak, and that person might feel weak while sharing their vulnerability during the time. But I will tell you, you doing so will make you guys a lot stronger than if you didn't share your vulnerabilities, right? So share your vulnerabilities, and just again, same thing with consistency. Don't go all out on one thing and just say all your vulnerabilities. It can be helpful, but it's not highly recommendable. I highly recommend that you just go little by little. You want to ease into it, and you don't want to get so shocked about it. Okay, so that concludes it, right? So the three main pillars are gonna be for you to stay consistent with your partner. So set a schedule for you guys to look set a date with each other. Then get your attention into the good things and be grateful about your partner. Make a list, and then give that list as a gift. And then the third thing is gonna be vulnerability. Share your vulnerabilities. With that concludes my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please click like, subscribe, and any comments that you have. Thank you very much, my lovely audience.